So hello everyone, I'm Soul Reaver, aka Yellum, and I've been doing a bit of speedruns recently of a game called Solstice, which you're gonna see in the background. It all started out with a little blind race I did with some other guys. So basically we're just trying to play through the game as fast as possible, even though we never played through it before. And what happened was, Blackie got first place with 1 hour and 50 minutes, and I got like second place with 2 hours and 30 minutes. So it's a pretty big game if you just try and play through it normally. We did help each other out a little bit, so saved a bunch of time there. So afterwards I just watched a few speedruns from Speed Demos Archives. And I watched the current world record, which I'm gonna link in the description, is 6:03 by PJ. And I just started speedrunning this game, and I thought I might as well just get a decent time. So I played a bunch of races afterwards, and I started doing some single runs. As you can see from the counter in the top left, this is my 13th attempt. But of course I did some more races afterwards, which I did not count into this. So this is about like my 23rd attempt at this. For like the 23rd attempt, I think it's like a pretty solid run. And the route I'm using is pretty much the world record route, but I did do some slight changes. Most of these involve the exclusion of some very, very hard and risky jumps that save a few seconds, and the exclusion of something called spike jumps, where you can do a very, very weird jump over spikes that is supposed to kill you, but if you do it correctly, you'll actually like a double jump over the spikes that you're not supposed to be able to do. So I'm not going to be able to. So I'm not doing that because it's way too risky. So something to know about this game, as you can see, it's like a pseudo 3D puzzle jump and run for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. What you're gonna see in the top left is the splits. It's basically like just a stopwatch where I can time how I'm doing compared to other runs, or like compared to the best run, that is. And I'm gonna see where I save or lose time. So when we played through this in the blind race, we used a cheat code for 90 lives, because you only have 5 lives. And if you lose all lives, you go back to the last time you picked up a continue coin, or you just go back to the start of the game. And continue coins are very rare, and each continue coin only has 1 use, so if you try and play through this without the 90 lives cheats casually, you're not gonna have a very fun time, because it's actually very, very easy to die. And even with the 90 lives code, I game overed twice. So this run, however, I already know the route and I've played through it a bunch of times, so I can play through it without the code, of course, only using the 5 lives. And about the game itself, as you can see, you're basically trying to get from point A to B most of the times, and the big idea behind everything is you want to collect 5 pieces of the Staff of Damnos. And basically once you've done that, you can go to the final boss and beat him by basically just entering the room. There's not really a fight there. So this is mostly just trying to get to the 5 pieces of the staff. The pieces are these tiny little wood cylinders, which you can see in the left of this room, which I'm just gonna grab here. Also, I'm doing this on post-commentary. When I did this run, I did not have commentary. This is why I'm talking so freely about the run. When I'm streaming this, I usually do commentary, like live, but I didn't for this run because I wanted to concentrate. So something that you're noticing right there, which is the use of a potion. Basically there's 4 potions in the game, and if you play through it normally, each potion has 2 uses unless you pick up more potions, but they're very rare and they don't come back after you pick them up. So you only have very limited potions. Now most of the times you don't need potions to get through a screen, but very, very often it's a lot easier to use a potion. So the 4 potions are: 1 makes you invulnerable to enemies, but not to spikes. That's important, because there's spikes everywhere, so you cannot go over the spikes with the potion. There's another potion that just basically kills all enemies, and there's another potion that stops time, which is really nice, because when time is stopped you can basically pick up a platform and put the platform below you, but because time is stopped it won't fall, which I used earlier. And I'm gonna be using it once later on. I'm trying to explain a lot of stuff here because the run is actually not that long. So it's, as you can see from the timer, it's only like 2 minutes left and the run is over. Also, the final potion is not be used at all because all it does is reveals invisible platforms. But if you know where all the invisible platforms are, it doesn't matter at all. Since you don't need the potion to just get on the platform. So something that you'll see all over the place, which already happened like thousands of times, is where I pick up a platform, and basically what you can do is you can stand on a platform and jump as you pick up the platform, which gets you extra height. And then you have the platform in your inventory, which means you can then again in mid-air place the platform and then jump off the platform again. By the way, getting on these guys is really hard. And this allows you to do basically the highest jump possible is basically standing on a platform, jumping, picking up the platform, and then in mid-air do the jump where you put down the platform and jump on it again. So that gives you a ton of height and gets you pretty much to the ceiling of the stage with just one platform. So as soon as you have a platform in your inventory, the screen is pretty much done. However, you cannot take a platform from one screen to the next, as that would be really overpowered, because platforms are pretty much the most overpowered thing in the game, since you can just jump to the ceiling like I did there. I just jumped to the giant platform all the way on the ceiling with just one platform. So this is another thing where I stop time, which means the platform won't fall anymore, which means I can just do these little jumps. So we come out to the very end of the game already. It's a very quick game if you just know where all the staff pieces are, and you do this route where you just go to all the staff pieces as quickly as possible. So after all this time, we're now at the final area of the game, which is this tower. Basically, we have 5 pieces of the staff now, and the final piece is on the top of this tower. You can only get into this tower if you have the other 5 pieces, so this piece will always be the last, but the other 5 can be picked up in any order. I messed the bubble up there. So after you pick up the final piece of the staff, you will get invulnerable forever, and then you can just walk into the final boss room and beat him. This game looks quite complicated at times with all the bubbles I shoot around and the platforms and stuff, but it's actually very easy to understand if you get into it. And it's very, very fun to play, but not casually. In a speedrun it is. So that was it. See you later.